Well, I'm off today on the Red Revolt. Well, the sun's out again, which is always nice to see, but boy is it cold. So I'm off for a bit of a short ride today. So the plan today is to go across the route that I call Holy Cow. And that takes me out through Wild Mill, up to Brinkethin, and then across the common to Heelaku. From there back down to Pencoed, and then back to Bridgend. Which is about 14 miles, I think, maybe 15. See, that traffic light you have to go through on red, even though people moan that cyclists don't stop at red lights, but it's triggered by the weight of a vehicle. And even with my bulk, there's not enough weight to trigger the traffic lights. So you either go through on the red or wait 10 minutes till the next car turns up. Still quite icy out. You can see the ice on the road. And proceed with caution, as they say. It's one of the reasons I chose this route today, as to try and use as few lanes and tracks as possible because of the chances of ice. But even so, I'm going to have to do this bit carefully. So, the reason that I'm doing such a short ride today is because I've had a bit of a difficult time. I mentioned in a previous video that I've been off cycling for a week with a cold and stuff, and came back and started getting back into it, and just when I thought I was getting myself back into a groove, this weekend I had a stomach bug. So that kept me off the bike for another 4 days. Mind you, look for a silver lining wherever you can. Those 4 days that I've been off, we've had the most appalling weather. So here we are on the 9th of January, and I've only ridden 40 miles so far. One thing I really have struggled with being unwell is my climbing ability. Oh, don't you love this? Car desperate to get past you and then holds you up for the rest of the day. I can still get up the hills, but I'm a lot slower. Well, the Blue Revolt is in for its annual service. I say annual because time goes really quickly. I know I probably should do it more often, but it always feels like just the other day it was done. And then it gets to winter, and after I've been riding around in mud and shit for a couple of months, I think, oh, I better get the bike serviced. But it is having a bit of love this time. It's having a deep clean, new bar tape, and it's having a new headset because the headset bearings were feeling really rough. And I've got a feeling that the headsets they use in these revolts are not very good. And I have heard other people complain about them. And really, when you think about it, people talk about buying custom bikes, but if you buy an off-the-shelf bike and then bit by bit you upgrade its components, before long you've got a custom bike. I mean, that bike has still got the GRX group set, but I replaced the FSA cranks, so now it is a complete GRX group set. But I'm fine with that because I like it. If ever I did upgrade it, I might go Di2, I don't know. But for the moment I quite like the group set, so no issues there. But it's got DT Swiss wheels on, and they really are a worthwhile upgrade. And now it should have a decent headset in it. Those DT Swiss wheels, GR1600s, really transformed the bike. I'm one of those who doesn't just upgrade for the bling factor, so I was kind of reluctant to spend the money. Boy, were they worth every penny. This bike has got the Hunt Super Dura wheels on. They're the ones that I had on the checkpoint. And I can't say I'm disappointed with them. But they're not as nice as the DT Swiss wheels. There's a nasty little hill coming up. And as I said, in my current state of fitness, it's going to be hard going. Well, it's still cold, even though the sun's come through. I don't know, maybe because of a bit of illness, I felt it more difficult to get going in the cold weather this year. Not just because we've had more of it as well. Alright, well that's over the common, through Helacoo. And now we're on our way into Pencoed. I'm glad I came out today. Managed to get the motivation and get out in the cold, because it does feel good to be back out on the bike. After not riding for a few days, I'm always concerned about losing fitness. Why, as I've said in previous videos, this is why they say that winter miles equals summer smiles. Because if you can maintain your fitness through the winter, straight away, when the weather warms up, you can get out there and start taking on some big challenges. Whereas if you don't ride through the winter, first 2 or 3 months of the summer, you're just riding to build up your fitness again. Well, I went out on Saturday. I mean, not on the bike, I was out and about. And I went down to Llanelli and it was fine. And then I came back and it started snowing. And all the way back to Chepstow, it snowed. But it wasn't sticking, so that was fine. And then I left Chepstow to come back to Bridgend, and you couldn't see the motorway, it was just white. I was absolutely shocked. It was a really frightening drive home. And on the news they said that the M5 was carnage because there was so many accidents, and And I just thought to myself, how did we get to the point as a country that we can't even keep the motorways going and there's a little bit of snow? I mean, it was gone by Sunday morning, you know, I'm not talking about a blizzard here. So, I've done 14.5 miles and still got about 3 miles to go, so further than I thought. So that's not too bad for a first ride out, recovering. I mean, I'm not home yet, but I do feel I'll be able to make it, albeit very slowly. And I'm sorry I can't give you any scientific and advanced recovery techniques, because the only recovery technique I know is go and ride the bike. And don't push yourself too hard until you feel you can. And of course there's always that thing of what will the Strava community think of me when they see how slow I've been going. The truth is, nobody really cares. None of my Strava contacts have ever sent me a message saying, why did you ride so slowly today? So just get out there and just enjoy the ride. And if you're not out riding, watch YouTube videos like this one, and then like and subscribe.